Welcome to Friday. Look. Mm. I could do a coffee commercial. Maybe there'll be a coffee roaster that wants to sponsor me. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to the morning coffee stream. This is not my usual streaming slot, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of audience we get this early in the AM, at least where I am. It's almost noon on the East Coast. Either way, it's a different time slot. So, welcome. I had my first day at work yesterday at the new job, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. We were busy. There were people everywhere I turned around. People. How may I help you? Welcome. How are you doing? So, as an extrovert, an ambivert technically, but the extrovert part of me got big recharged yesterday, and I get to do it again today. That's why we're doing a morning coffee stream, and tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. I've decided though I really like working. I'd much rather be working than not working, than sitting at home. For my mental health, like having a job to go to is one of the easiest, best things I could do for it just fixes so much almost instantly. So definitely on the right track. Green light for me. Um let's see. Let's throw out a brain teaser and then I'll do a prompt for today. All right, here's the brain teaser for today. And this one's not too hard if you really think about it. Okay, this will get your brain jumping for the morning. 3 boxes. One box is labeled apples, one box is labeled oranges, and one is labeled apples and oranges. So, oh, that's the first part. Hang on. All right, that's the setup. Here's the puzzle. All 3 labels are wrong. Mislabeled. You can only pick one fruit from one of the boxes without looking inside. How can you label all 3 boxes correctly from one fruit? So what box do you pick from? And how do you label all the rest? Here we go. 3 boxes, apples, oranges, apples and oranges. You get to pick one. This is useful. This could have practical applications if you're at a job and you're in this situation. All right, and then let's look at our prompt for today. Oh, this is a good one. Here it is. What do people usually know is a bad sign, but talk themselves out of seeing? Oh my God, I could make an entire list just off of one person. These are red. I think of these as red flags. Like in a relationship or a friendship or a co-working situation or an environment. Like maybe you're just in the wrong setting. You're at the wrong job, the wrong social group, but there's usually little signs that when you look back are more clear, but sometimes you can catch them as they're happening. And what I do a lot is I'll catch what I think is a sign and then I'll ignore it. I'll find a reason. It's so automatic. I'll find a reason to dismiss it or downplay it because I don't trust myself because a lot of times I'm wrong. So I can't just go by, oh, I think that's a sign. I wait and I watch for patterns, like I collect data and I just keep watching and observing and collecting information and seeing what patterns I can form it into to help me maybe figure out from there, and then start doing prediction. Like, is the model predictive? And even then I get it. A lot of times I get it wrong. But usually it's a sense. But again, that vibe thing can be so off. Like, it's not always accurate. And I know that from experience, my own and from others towards me. But red flags in relationships, that's a good place to start. Here, in fact, that could be our topic today. All right. A big one for me right away in almost any situation with any other human is communication. How is the communication flowing? Is it healthy? Are people holding back? Is there tension? Do they feel like they can't say things? Is it direct and open and honest and transparent? Is there games being played? Is there manipulation going on? So that's usually one thing that I can tell pretty quickly, but also I've developed an eye for that too. So I don't know if it works for just anybody, but for me, if I pay attention to the quality of the communication, that's usually where a lot of the early signs show up, especially when the communication starts to break down. And or conflict too, because usually your first conflict or your first communication breakdown kind of sets the pattern or the template for the future ones. So the very first time there's conflict, I have my microscope out. I'm studying that because I know that the way we handle or resolve this conflict, or maybe don't resolve it, is going to set the pattern for all the future situations like this one. So I really pay attention to that initial conflict. The first time there's disagreement, sometimes an argument, rarely an outright fight. I really pay attention. That really tells me a lot about as a sign. And then the communication breakdown. If the communication's flowing and everybody's feels like they're getting each other, and then it starts to go off and people are starting to mishear or not fully understand or misinterpret, or however they take it, whatever's happening, it could be many things. The minute that starts to happen, I pay attention, because that usually, if maybe not a sign of the situation itself, but definitely an indication of how future breakdowns are likely to go. Plus, I like to learn from all of these too. I study this so I can learn from it. Again, with the idea of successfully navigating future occurrences. You build that predictive model, that folk model. And I guess the older you get, the more you have to put in your model over the years. It's not necessarily saying your model's any more correct or not. You've just had more to feed into it and more time to kind of fiddle around with it and see how well it works or not, to learn from it. So those are my initial thoughts on bad signs, red flags. And another big one, this is an easy, just one people overlook a lot, I think. How do you feel? Like, what's your body telling you? What, are you tense all the time? Are you relaxed? I know in one of my recent debacles, which is probably going on 20 years now, I was never relaxed. I was never comfortable. I never felt like I could just do this and be myself. I was always tense about something because he had the tendency to hyper react over little unpredictable things. It was just not a comfortable, relaxed environment. I was always tense. I would lay next to him in bed, stressed. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, this is not normal. Like, this is not how a relationship's supposed to feel. And so all of those were signs that I was kind of ignoring at least downplaying, because it was a fresh relationship and I had moved up here for it. So I was very invested in its success, and I didn't want to process too much data that indicated otherwise. And so some of it was me just knowing, yeah, this is probably a bad sign, but just give it a chance. You're here. So I kept overlooking a lot. But all of those, looking back, even from our very early communications, were signs. I could have saved myself a whole lot of trouble if I had just paid attention and taken those initial signs for what they were, bad signs. And that experience can be extrapolated and applied to a friendship, a family member, coworker, a boss. Maybe there's drama at your church or a social group. Anywhere you have humans, you're going to have these little hierarchies with drama. As people like struggle to find their footing and their role in the group. And you know what else? I haven't looked at the news today either. So let's check on that. Oh yeah, the Trump G summit, China. I didn't know he was in China. I thought he either Xi was coming here or they were meeting somewhere neutral. So I didn't realize Trump was over there. The Supreme Court is allowing the abortion by mail abortion pill by mail to continue. So again, for people that think that the court is biased and there's this agenda and they're collaborating with Congress and Trump to enact some future dystopia, this is usually, in my experience, because I read a lot of the cases, the ones I find particularly interesting or relevant. What fascinates me most about them is the legal reasoning. It's very intricate. It's very deep. They put a lot of work into it. These are not people just rubber stamping things. There's a lot of intellectual, mental activity and energy going into these rulings. Pages and pages of it you can look at and see for yourself. They don't always side with Trump. They don't always side with the values of the right. A lot of it has to make sense legally with the existing law, the Constitution, law, precedents, all the stuff they go by. They can't just make up a ruling ahead of time and then try to shoehorn it into our system, because that's usually people are going to catch it. So that happened. U.S. and Cuba intensify negotiations. Oh, Cuba's collapsing. I read something about that. Their economy, they're running out of oil or something. So anyway, that's what I see going on. And then California's having elections for governor. So there you go, your daily news. When I used to do these morning coffee streams, it was kind of like morning inspiration. And people would come up and, I don't know, talk about what they were expecting, maybe a challenge they were expecting later that day, or something going on in their life, or just wanting to share inspiration with us. Of course, we can make them whatever we want, but morning coffee just seems like sometimes a special time, like its own. You know how Sunday, growing up, Sunday was its own day. It, like no other day felt like Sunday. It had its own feeling to it that was very unique and expressly Sunday. And morning coffee feels the same way. It feels like its own kind of time that has a certain feeling to it. Look at me vibing. Vibe epistemology. So yeah, I figured I'd hang out here for I have a couple of hours and then I have to head out. I'm busy later this evening and I work all day tomorrow. And so I probably will not be on tomorrow at all or any other time today. So this is it until maybe Sunday or Monday. I'm going to squeeze them in when I can. But I do have my schedule a little bit in advance, so I can tell you what next week looks like. Oh, it looks like I'm mostly morning. I'm off Tuesday and Wednesday. And all the other days are morning, so I'll probably be able to do an early afternoon stream or early evening on the East Coast for most of next week. So welcome, grab your coffee, sit around the fire, the campfire or the hearth if you prefer indoors. You know me, I love the outdoors. I could spend as much time in it as possible. And tell us what's going on with you. What's up? All right, and let's see if. Oh yeah, we have the brain puzzle. Hang on, I was working on that. The apples and oranges. 3 boxes. Apples, oranges, and both. Apple, oranges. And you can only pick one fruit out of one box. So what box do you pick? And how do you use that to correctly label all the other boxes? And then our prompt is about bad signs or red flags. Overlooked red flags. Bad signs that you knew at the time, like at least something caught your attention, something like tweaked your brain and flagged it as significant. And then looking back, it turned out to actually, yes, be a bad sign. And somehow you overlooked it, rationalized it, talked yourself out of it. All the things I do when I see the bad signs that I don't want to see that are there, because I want the thing to continue in the fantasy version. Because it's intoxicating. It's enchanting. It's like a high. And I think even chemically, the organism wants that to continue. Mine does. Me. And so there's a lot of times I know when I'm doing it, in almost every conflict or every workplace situation. I'll use work for an example. I can usually see it coming early. I could usually trace the little signs, the little indicators, and even kind of the direction it was going, likely to go. And looking back, almost all of that turned out to be prophetic and accurate. So I pay attention to those little moments when they happen. When I think something's a sign, I don't dismiss it. I flag it. I file it away. I keep it active when I'm processing about that situation or that environment. And I watch and I let patterns build up, because I have a tendency to react quickly, because a lot of times I'm right, but sometimes I'm reacting with speed and it's not, I don't have the situation completely clear in my head yet. So slowing down a bit and taking that time to test your initial like instincts or intuitions and see if it's actually what you think it is. A lot of times it's not. Sometimes there's a kernel of something there, but maybe it's getting magnified. Or like Don Quixote and the windmills. It's just windmills. There is something there, but it's not the dragon or the giant. All right. So those are the prompts, the brain teaser and the prompt. And the panel is open too. The link should be pinned. So come on up. Like I said, it's a different time slot, so I don't know what audience to expect, but we will see what we get and work with that. Otherwise, I'm going to keep it running for 15, 20 minutes, maybe, and shut it down and get ready to start my day, my Friday. I hope you have a good Friday. There's usually a lot going on YouTube on a Friday night to do. So, and hopefully maybe in person too. I wish healthy, positive in-person experiences on everybody on YouTube. I hope wish has that. If you don't, that's okay, but hopefully you do get that at some point. In my experience, it can only, with the right people, it can only enhance your life. With the wrong people, it can be open the door to nightmare and a living hell. So be careful. Learn discernment. Learn these signs. Learn how to know when something's a sign and a bad sign. Learn how to to be aware when you're dismissing something that might be a sign. A lot of times it really is in vibe. It really is in the gut, in the body. It's a sense. And then it gets verbalized at some point and made articulate to the intellect. But they come instantly. Those signs, like it doesn't take much at all for that alarm to get triggered and like, oh, this is something to pay attention to. I had it with the X very early. But in the early stages, you kind of you don't fully know yet. It's the getting to know stage. So you want to like keep things going and information flowing and conversation. So it's easy to dismiss small things in the beginning because you're trying to get more data. But still, if I had paid attention. And then almost every job or workplace. Oh, hey, RW. My problem is it's lifelong, and it probably goes back to my upbringing. Actually, I have two. This is my pattern from very early. I'm very good at recognizing dysfunction and unhealth and moving out of it and like finding something more healthy and moving toward that. I have a established pattern of doing that from an early age. But I also have a very bad habit of being in dysfunctional situations and not being fully aware that they're dysfunctional. And I think they're healthy. I think everything's running great, but under that surface, there's a lot of dysfunction that I'm not aware of. So once I become aware, I'm very good at moving, leaving, getting out of it. But a lot of times I'm not always initially aware. But let's see what this guy has to say. Welcome.
Hey, I kind of just still waking up, and I'm just.
You have your coffee?
Of what you're saying?
And are you in your chair?
Got my coffee. I'm not inside now. StreamYard cooks my phone, so I got to do it on the computer. But
okay.
You're talking about your perception, how you perceive things.
This was the prompt for the day: is what do people usually know is a bad sign, but talk themselves out of seeing? And I was presenting in the context of red flags in either relationships or group situations. People might dismiss or rationalize that if they pay attention. I just
dealt with that. I think red flags is an excellent example. I was working in a server on Discord. I was trying to bring energy into it and create a good space with good morality. And the red flags is that the owner was a drama queen that was more interested in negative energy because it had what they were interested in. And I didn't accept the red flag when I knew it was there, and it made me waste a lot of time for no reason.
That's not the current server, is it?
No, I backed away, and now I'm in that current server, and that current server is a place where I actually can create those spaces, and you're seeing
that's
that
what
it
it seems like.
So that
that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Well, why did you, when you noticed the flag, how did you end up still continuing? What did you do to either rationalize it or downplay it or overlook it?
Because I thought it would still be beneficial to other people. I thought I could still.
So even if they have drama, that there's still other people out there that.
Right. So there was other people in the server that would come into the spaces I created and have a good experience and take a break from all of the drama and the other voice chat and have a normal civilized conversation like this. And they did benefit from it, but it just because the owner and the overseer of everything had such a different worldview and interest in that space, it was pushing against the pricks the whole time. And
it
wasn't worth it. And that individual talked down to me in the sense that they thought that they were giving me this big chance and I didn't appreciate them enough. And it's like, no, I came into your space with my own catalyst energy and created all these things because I wanted to. So they were acting very hoity-toity. What's up?
I said you were giving them an opportunity to me.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm old enough to not be gaslit and know what I'm doing. And I just don't like the egotistic or the narcissistic bullcrap that people come up with because they think that without them, it's not possible.
Yeah, that's an easy illusion to fall into. But what we were talking the other day that YouTube in general and maybe Discord servers is it narcissistic by nature? Like, do you have to have some amount of narcissism or grandiosity to even be a content creator or a server owner?
I don't think so. But I think that ever since I was young, there was the toxic masculinity aspect of teaching a man that he has the final say in everything and everybody else needs to bow to his will. And when you're successful, everybody else will bow to your will. And you know what I mean? Like there's this whole,
I'm counting on it.
Well, I think that being meek and humble is actually more respectful.
Oh, I'm working on that.
It doesn't make being humble doesn't make you weak. It actually
no, but it feels icky.
If you're being
it feels
humble,
it feels false. It feels fake. It feels like kissing a ring or the emperor's new clothes when you don't really believe it.
No, I mean like when you believe it.
Genuine humility is really hard to experience.
I'm not saying to be humble towards jerks. I'm saying more so in a group of people that you respect, because there's always going to be disagreements. There's always going to be bad experiences. And without a group of people that are willing to be humble and continue to try and keep going because they believe in the group, I don't think it's possible. Because then it's going to come down to ego and you know, picking sides and then there's division. I'm not talking about being humble to corporate or bowing down to the biggest jerk in the room. You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm never that person.
There's a lot of that.
Yes, there is a lot of that. That's why the remnant, you know, the groups are always small that are worth spending a lot of time in. Once you get into the
they're
group,
small and you have to maintain them. You have to actively, they don't just like spring up and then just exist. You have to actively maintain them for the reason you said of the drama, because that's what
Right.
drives most of this platform. It's like in Africa on the savannah, you got to put up the wooden fences and the straw fences to keep the lines out constantly every day. Every day you have to go make sure those fences are up to keep it going,
Yeah.
or the drama will get in and contaminate and distort.
Yeah. There's it's usually the person that comes in to a conversation or group that doesn't sit and listen for a little bit, see what's going on. They just come in, push hard, and start talking about their opinions, especially if they start judging what people are doing. Instantly brings the conversation to a crappy place. Like yesterday, there was about 12, 15 people in the chat, which is a large number to be able to hang out and vibe. Usually, like, you can vibe with 4 or 5 people. So there's 15 people in the chat. This guy comes in and just starts picking on the people who are playing video games, like, oh, you're just wasting all your time, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why are you here? Like, what's the purpose?
Was he in the middle of a conversation? Like, were y'all talking before he came in?
We were all having things we were talking about, and he just pushed in, and his opinion was the loudest and the strongest in the room. And all of a sudden, there was no conversation anymore. There was no hangout vibe. There was just this guy that was loud and obnoxious and annoying.
Yeah. That's the risk of keeping the front door open and unlocked like that.
I mean, it's invite only, so that knocks out a lot of the random trolls coming in, but it does allow people to come in and act that way. I just don't understand why an individual want to come in and totally destroy the established.
He may not have been well socialized. Like, his mama may not have raised him right.
Who knows? But a collective, strong group
will. So
let's say a lion comes into the room. Say the fence is up and everything. A lion comes into the room. If there's a lot of strong monkeys with spears that group together, the lion doesn't have such an easy time. He doesn't get to break everything up. All the monkeys will pick at him. They'll poke at him. They'll annoy him.
But when the head monkey is a lion in a monkey suit,
well, yeah. There's that. He might not be a lion in a monkey suit, but he's a monkey that thinks he's a lion.
Yeah, or that too. That's a bad sign.
I'm just saying, it works. It works. It's a good, healthy group. A lot, and it's a lot of older guys again. Most of the guys that are a part of the leadership are in their near 40.
The one you're in now?
Huh?
I thought it was kid. I thought it was like young Gen.
There's a lot of young guys too, but because the higher end of the council is older guys, they come in and hang out.
How old is this crowd?
Well, we're in our 40s, so we've hit 40.
All right, that's what was throwing me off.
And I'm not sure how old Dreamwalker is. I know he's at least 40, but it makes a difference.
Oh, we have an answer to our the apple, not oranges, mixed.
Dream's only 38.
You pull from the mixed. Yeah, well, this is the right answer. You pull from the one box because the label's wrong. So it's not actually apples and oranges. So whatever's in there is that box. If you pull an apple, then you know that's the apples. And if you pull an orange, you know that's the oranges. And then you can figure out the other labels from there. Fixing to be. Are you from the South? Someone said fixing was fixing to is making a comeback. It's like some of the new slang now.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say he was over 40.
Like body language holds himself. That's what
his maturity. His maturity is well over 40 to me. Like his patience level, his ability to engage with people. I feel like it's. I didn't expect him to be younger than 40.
He probably is. He has that maturity. But then there's young people. There's people half my age that have that too. That amazes me. How did you get it? And I'm this age and I'm still looking for it.
Maybe they didn't drink the pink syrup.
The pink syrup. What was that about?
Well, that's the. I wish
the gifted program
because he's another individual that talks about that stuff that you guys. Some people that were neurodivergent back in elementary school, I think it was, were given this pink cup or this cup with pink stuff in it, and they drank it and they took them somewhere. It was weird. It was like an MK Ultra program that
I was
right
in those programs. Yeah, I was in the tag program. I was in the gate program. We had Spark, and then I also went to a residential school for the gifted, and so I was all up in those programs. And no one ever gave me pink or purple syrup. I have no memory of the pink or purple syrup at all. I remember some of the other stuff. I remember the what is it, the ESP cards and all that stuff, and doing those experiments. But candies in a dish. We had the hearing thing where they played different tones and you raised your hand when you could hear the tone or not hear the tone. And then it seemed like there were little books and we had to put earphones on and do things with sound. I don't remember, but we did have little stations with earmuffs and tape recorders. We had computers. That was some of the earliest. We had like the Radio Shack and all that. So the gifted programs was the earliest place I got to play around with computers and got accustomed to them and like normalized them.
But the earmuff thing, that was just hearing testing, right? I did that.
I think, and I don't even know if it was part of the gifted pro. It seemed like they did that on all of us. Yeah, games. We watched movies. We did computer stuff, and back then, that's where you had to know how to program. You had to learn BASIC, even to use the computer. And so we did like a little bit.
We had the big floppy disks.
The big. Well, back then on the Radio Shack, it was a cassette. It wasn't even disc, and you had to play it through a tape recorder connected to the computer. And so to load one program took like half an hour because the whole cassette had to play to get the program loaded.
And before that, it was the
Eliza.
Punch card, right?
We had Eliza.
Box of punch cards.
Yeah, we had. I remember the punch card. We had a punch card machine at one of my jobs.
Man, once that computer was up and running, could you imagine someone like turned that off? They're like, no.
It was so natural. The evolution from the technology I started with to the modern was so natural. And I think part of the reason for me was the gifted programs, because I did get to like early adopt a lot of it through that. But even the ordinary people that were in the gifted programs seemed to eventually adjust to computers, especially phones. Cell phones. They act like they can't work with any kind of technology, but they can do anything on these cell phones.
Can you imagine the difference in thought? Like we're looking at when we grew up and what we had to do to get a game running or a program running. You before me, I never dealt with punch cards. I had floppy cards and forward. In the future, kids are going to be like, you had to click on a computer to open a program, and like because they're just like thinking about it on their display in front of them or something, something ridiculous.
I remember telephone operators where if you want to make a long distance call, you had to call 0 and a lady came on, usually a lady, mostly. And you had to tell her your number, and like she'd talk to a human. She'd say, okay, hold on, I'll connect you. And there was all this human interaction just to make a long distance call.
Ricky.
And you had to pay for it. Now you can call anywhere, and it's just minutes. It's just part of your plan. But if you called out of your area code, that costs money. That was
now it's a lot of voice over internet. So like you're not even using telephone lines anymore. It's all digital with video.
Yeah.
I don't even really use my phone plan part much. It's always data. I use data way more than I use the phone package.
I probably do too. I don't even know. I have way more minutes than I ever use. So I don't even worry about the phone part. I hardly get phone calls.
I'm wondering if they're going to make it so that phone plans are all unlimited with, a reasonable price, because that's still one thing in the United States where it's very expensive to have unlimited high-speed data. Like that's very expensive every month, whereas it should be at the point where it could be way cheaper than that.
Mine's really high though. It's like higher. I'd have to be on it all day long to run through my data plan. So even without unlimited, the plans they have now, I find very affordable.
It's fine. I'm fine unless I go on vacation. and then I don't unplug from the internet on vacation. I just use it like I normally do.
I know. What's the point? Do you take your phone camping? I would never go
Yeah,
camping with you.
there is no such thing as off grid anymore.
No, we would not make good camping partners.
If the group decided that there's no phones or whatever, except for emergencies, I mean, I could turn it off, but
or would you grumble the whole time, or
no,
Jones, or
it's not like if I get a brand new video game or something and I'm like fiending on that video game and I can't stop thinking about it, then it's more of an issue. But if I'm more like in my current phase now, maybe I'd miss Discord. Maybe I'm in my Discord phase. Maybe like, oh man, what are they talking about? Man.
The same stuff they can be talking about when you get back when you pull up Discord. It'd be the same exact conversation.
I mean, you can look at the people that are in the group, and if you know them, you can have a guess of what are the 1 or 5 things that they're probably talking about right now. But it's excellent for body doubling.
Have you always been like this, or is that like a effect of technology in your life where you have this urge or need for all this socialization at your fingertips?
I've always been extroverted. I've always enjoyed groups. When it comes to work, it's a little bit different. It depends on the process. I'm more than happy to work with a good group of people that knows how to work and get stuff done. But I am a miserable bastard if there's someone in the group that's dicking around and wasting time. I can't. Anybody that slows me down from a process, especially if I'm not enjoying the process, can't handle it. But when it comes to being social or listening to people talking or being just something happening in my head instead of the menial task that I'm working on, I love that.
Yeah, and I do too.
Technology gives me that, so
I live for that. When I'm plugged into it, I'm in my zone. Like everything feels normal. Do you know about ABR, actor-based reality?
Never heard of it.
Identity recognition. Is that Brown's boy? If you're out there, there's the actor conspiracy theory that's going around YouTube where like a lot of these people are actors and it's not real. Like these panels that seem organic are actually staged and engineered, and they're paid actors.
This is 100% organic.
Mine is. I mean, yeah. I've done acting in high school, but I don't even know how I'm going to act when I turn the camera on until I'm on. And it happens.
Like at what level? Are you talking about like Mr. Beast level? Like, are you what type of level of?
No, like acting, like they're playing characters and roles, and some of the storylines are staged and fake, and like kind of like wrestling, like WWE.
I never have come across that. I've come across people that are trying to make money, so they definitely are creating the drama that brings people in that throw super chats to have their opinion heard. But I don't feel like I've ever come across it where I felt like somebody was like I can see that they're acting a certain way to try and get paid, but it's not the same as they're a paid actor.
This is actually like paid actors. There's funding behind some of these people, and they're actual actors. I mean, Barney's an actor. Barney has his acting card, whatever that card, SAG card, and he's been in low-budget films. So he's an actual technical actor. He could put it on his resume as a profession. But he's the only one, that's the only actual actor.
No, I have not.
No, you talking about ABA like with autism or therapy analysis? No, I just know the Jackson 5 song, ABC. No, not autism. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not for it. There's a lot of behavior analysis things going around right now. One of the girls that comes and talks normally in Discord will ask people certain things and certain questions, and she'll tell them that they're a certain thing. To me, it's like a Disney princess quiz, like Facebook used to have. I don't really pay much attention to it.
Wait, what? The Disney princess?
Yeah, on Facebook, like not long into Facebook, they would have all these quizzes like which Disney princess are you, or which Marvel superhero are you, and like basically it was just data grabs because you'd put all this personal information in and then it show you which of these.
The gays had which Golden Girl are you? We used to take those.
There you go. There's
for kids now for what princess you are. That's scary. I don't. Ooh.
Is that more scary?
I think we need less.
Girl are you? That sounds scary to me.
I don't like this princess industry that's meant like encouraging all of this princessness.
I mean, that's just a random example. I mean, there's anything under the sun they can get you to click on to give you that information. So, antecedent.
Okay, what happens right before the behavior occurs?
How do you say that A word?
Antecedent.
Antecedent.
And then the actual behavior, the act, or the reaction, which is still an action. And then what happens immediately after? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I already do when I'm looking at behavior.
The consequence being from yourself or from other people?
I'm viewing it as a causal chain. I'm trying to get the sequence of events in time. What happened first, then next, then next, then next, and then this outcome. So that's kind of what I do. Oh, and you journal over it. I just kind of do it in my head.
That's looking for like a personal improvement journey.
Yeah, to help you understand. I guess you could use it on your own behavior, certainly, and the behavior of others, the behaviors you see around you.
I don't know how much benefit it would be if the people around you were someone close that you could like maybe approach differently and help to have better experiences with.
You in bed?
What's up, Sean?
What's up?
What's up? Yeah, I'm in bed.
Oh.
It's the most important thing in life, sleeping.
My grandfather feels differently about that, but I agree with you.
I mean,
he tells me
workers should all work in a bed. Instead of sitting down, you lay in a bed.
And do what?
Is this sponsored by Tempur-Pedic?
No, it's sponsored by my autistic brain.
Oh.
What would you do in a bed?
What's up, Nunzio?
It was good. Yeah, but yeah, that's what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Did you read what I said?
Yeah, the how to analyze behavior.
Yeah, it's really good.
Understand.
I've been using that technique as well. You know,
I've seen the same type of concept with like a prayer journal. It's not the same exact layup as you're talking about, but you get to look at linear progression or change, or even to remember, like how much do we forget as we just go through life.
Exactly, like the Mandela, especially with the Mandela effect going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain, like, you know, fucking it's always good to, like, you know, always keep track of what the hell is actually going on. Like, and also, like, if you want to improve your life, the best way to do it is to like write it down, journal it. It's also like prayer when you do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, in both scenarios, you're actively making an effort to observe something, pay attention to something, improve something, or at least understand something. That's a major step for an individual. I'm not sure what percentage of humanity would do something like that. I would say probably 25% or less.
Well, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to be a better and responsible human to society. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fair reason.
I don't want to be a fucking asshole anymore, you know? So
talk about a challenge.
Yeah.
You're using the 3 laws of logic. The law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, and the law of so that means that everything is duality or something? Is it only like right or wrong? I'm confused. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's also like it's also about like something like this. So it's all about like taking accountability for your actions. Like, okay, so yeah, things could have. So look, so if you say, let's say a scenario, right? Say, you know, I got into a fight with somebody, right? I got to look at, instead of seeing what that person was doing was causing the reason, was what was the effect. I have to look at what I was doing. The best thing that I do is that I look at what I did to put myself in that situation and how I could have avoided that. You know,
right? You get to just start to define your triggers.
Exactly. And then once you know your triggers, you're good. And but it does take a lot of time to work on it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a fucking overnight thing. And I wrote like 3 different books I journaled like 3 different books. So like I said, it's a process. It's and then what the reason why I suggest to write it down, other than to just like do it into the head, is because when you write it down, you look at it later, right, and you see the progression that you know how far you came.
Most of our progression is when we look back, like with parenting or with relationships or whatever. There are things that we've been struggling with, the habit or whatever, for a very long time. It's baby steps that are so slow that you look at yourself like, man, I'm never going to change. But when you actually look back, you can see, even if it's not a grandiose change, you can see that there is change, and it actually gives you hope.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm noticing that you got skinnier, RW. Are you trying to be healthier?
It's just it's the growing season, so I'm outside busting my ass more. During the winter, I fatten up like a bear.
Oh, I sit around the house fat.
Now I walk around the
Oh yeah,
field
what are you
fat.
growing? I studied horticulture, so I like this stuff.
A
What are you
bunch of
growing?
different things. Right now, we're working on the hay harvest, and that we're going to use both for the animals and for mulching and composting for layering in a garden. But when it comes to the garden, there's you got your melons and your squashes and your pumpkins. There's asparagus. There's going to be okras. There's your broccolis and cabbages. There's a lot of the traditional stuff in the stores, but then there's also going to be, stuff that takes care of itself, like figs and service berries and American persimmons.
Nettles.
Nettles grow themselves. Don't have to worry about those. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot to list.
Do you use scarecrows? Do y'all have to create a scarecrow?
No, the crows down here actually work on our team. We'll actually even feed them with the rest of the birds because they'll keep the hawks at bay so that we can keep our poultry. It's a weird, because in Maryland, absolutely, if you didn't put something to deal with the crows would be your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they have so much food down here that they don't screw with it.
Yeah, man, I think the environmental stuff is going to make us have to farm differently. We're going to have to use no more artificial fertilizer, recycle all human waste, eat less meat and dairy,
You mean like
and
or just like food compost?
yeah. Well, technically in the Bible, they say you're not even supposed to eat like another animal, like at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're saying.
Well, why did God give
The
us?
original diet.
Because he's saying that we're all connected to like the blood. He's saying like, well, the reason why, because they're saying that we're all connected through the blood.
Well, so let me clarify. Before the flood and creation, it was a plant-based diet. After the flood, there was an allowance for clean meats. But even in the allowance of clean meats, you are not meant to eat the blood or the fat.
Why did he change his mind like that?
yeah, why
Probably
did
because
God do
there's-
that? Is he psychopathic? Is he trying to torture us by eating meat?
No, it's that. Imagine there's a massive catastrophic flood and all the vegetation is destroyed and regrowing. Perhaps.
Oh, you would need meat.
Perhaps the cows could eat what was growing that humans couldn't eat, so that they could still have a food source.
Man, no, I just think this is just all made up. The reason why veganism is possible now is because we can make B12 out of vats because in 1948 we managed to make it ourselves. So ethically now we could all become vegan and not die. But back in the day you could only become vegetarian. So
Well, how do you get over the problem that meat tastes good? It tastes so good
yeah,
that
that's
most
why
humanity
the smart
is not
people.
going
There's a
to give
company
it
in
up.
Israel. There's a company in Israel that's doing fake dairy that tastes like dairy and it's made with bacteria or fungi, and it's
Why-
like whoa.
Why
And I
are you
heard that
arguing that?
I'm all good on that.
Well,
Yeah.
we could always eat
All
nuts.
set on that.
We could eat
Anything
nuts.
like genetically modified is not healthy for you. Just saying. Like if they have to break it down to its unnatural form, and instead of you're supposed
Genetics
to
or
drink
no?
milk uncured. Back in the day they used to drink milk uncured. Now they put fucking so much antibiotics in this fucking food to diminish our population. I know it sounds crazy, right? But it's an actual fact.
No, it's just a normal practice, really.
It's not crazy.
It's not
It
crazy.
sounds
it's just
conspiracy, not crazy. Just
Well, if we
conspiracy.
didn't have antibiotics, we wouldn't have industrial animal agriculture. Because if you want to keep your cheap meat, you need vaccines and antibiotics. and artificial fertilizer and subsidies.
Well, I think
I
we do.
suggest
want
everybody
to-
grow their own food, raise their own cattle, all that shit.
There's
Like-
going to be a lot of people that have to leave the city.
There's gonna be a lot of shit. Look, do you not see what's going on? They're putting so many psyops in there. They're saying that it's fucking UFOs. They're putting the Epstein files out there. They're putting like, bro. There's so much the war. They're trying to distract us from some fucking big shit that's going on. I'm telling y'all.
What makes you
Distractor
think that?
entertainment.
The war seems real to me.
chain
It
of
seems like
events.
it's all coming.
The chain of events that have occurred recently, what they don't want you to study is where the money is going. So if you see where the U.S. dollar is going, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about, what's coming in, what currency is coming into America. You know what I'm saying?
It's not going. The dollar's not going anywhere.
No,
Where
I'm not
is it
saying
going?
It's going anywhere. I'm saying like the transferable funds of what's going on. Like, so there's this website where you can check every single currency. It's called Tasty TFX. And it's like a stock exchange where you could where you judge currency and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
So I'm a globalist. I think the World Economic Forum might be correct, but I'm a bit scared of the bad billionaires. But I think there's a lot of good billionaires. They're trying to make the whole world one world government and like one world currency, one world religion, or no more religion. And I would agree with that.
Whoa.
Oh, gross. No. Not in my lifetime.
Wait, so you're saying that we need to be vegan and, do certain things, and then you're saying you agree with a one world power? I hope they agree
Yeah,
with you. 'Cause
totalitarian.
if not, you better
Yeah,
get in
man.
line.
I mean, if the Chinese, America, why are we in war? Is it everybody trying to be in power, take more power from each other? Why don't we just monopolize it and just say, okay, guys, we end this war shit and just say, okay, everybody's together, peace and love.
That's not how that works.
So look,
If everybody's under the same governing power, that doesn't mean that every civilian is going to be treated equally.
So if America gets control of all the oil, if America gets control of all the oil, which Trump is trying to do, we would monopolize all the oil, and then the countries would have to pay us with the tariffs as well to support their fucking country with our oil.
So
That's
That's why might is right. Sadly,
this is going to
the
start.
morals of nature are might is right.
Look at the current events with Greenland. If you not look at the situation with fucking Maduro, Iraq, all lead to the situation that he wants the oil, so America can control the fucking resource that is needed by the globe. You know what I'm saying? So we're the one fucking making the money. That's going to start a big issue between a lot of countries, and that's why
the lifeblood of a superpower.
like, you know how the Roman Empire fell because they got too high up there. Well, this is what's going to happen with America.
I don't think it's because
People
they
have been
got too
saying
high up
that.
there. I think it's because
the
Even
countries
before I was born.
are going to feel like they're getting fucked over because of these tariffs that are going on right now. You know what I'm saying? If we control the oil, we control the tariffs, and we control how much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but people are going to use alternative energy like renewable energy, nuclear energy. If the price of oil stays high, people are going to try to use different types of energy.
If
We're
Especially
already
as a
trying to
fixed
use
cost.
different types.
right, and if that was the case, there would have been a sufficient model to use nuclear energy. There are, but it is unsafe to use. Like, because easily, like, say if we wanted to shut down their shit, their electric, their boom, we just send something over there, hit their nuclear power plant. Now they're nothing. Now they're wiped out. There'll be another Chernobyl.
But that's what happened to France in the 70s and the oil embargo in the 70s. They all started using nuclear. And I asked the AI how much nuclear energy would be required to replace all the fossil fuels. And you'd have to build 2,000 nuclear power plants to replace all fossil fuels.
Exactly. So it'd be impossible.
That doesn't sound right.
Ask your AI how much nuclear power plants would have to be built to replace all fossil fuels.
What? So, in other words, to make everything run on batteries, I don't think it would even happen. There would still be things that are maintained through fossil fuels. Like if you have a generator on an off grid setup, you don't want to have a bunch of batteries you're maintaining and storing for when you need them. You're going to have jerry cans fuel of diesel. That's your backup.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what I asked the AI, and it did the maths and calculations. If we had the technology,
it's not reasoning the same.
but you know what I mean? Like you can use batteries, you can use wires to transfer energy. You can have like trains as tractors in the fields.
Like
you can
wire. Hook everything up to toasters.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways. I mean, humans are pretty smart.
I know little rats in cages running around with hamster wheels. Hamsters do that.
She's on fire.
Do something with cows. They're gonna need something to do after we stop eating them. Hook them up to
like horses.
Make them generate energy.
Yeah, make them good exercise. The cows can plow the fields. But now farmers are into like no dig, where they don't plow anymore. But the problem with that is they use glyphosate, which is not very good, I think. That's what they say. But they could also use lasers. There's machines now that zap the weeds with lasers.
I believe it, because there's one that zaps the mosquitoes.
Yeah, it's called electrolysis.
Yeah, that's a technology that's actually rolling out. The removing weeds as they plant seeds with laser.
It's only a matter of time before it's on our face.
On our face?
I mean, now with gene editing, we can like genetically modify everything. Like, I wouldn't be surprised in the future where we genetically modify all of nature and humans ourselves, and everything will be just supernatural.
Okay, so like I said, modifying anything is unnatural, right?
How do you think we got broccoli?
Natural. All of this knowledge that we were attained was given by us to us from what's it called? This guy called Azazel, this demon called Azazel. He was like the prince of the fucking underworld.
I wish. That sounds way cooler than reality.
Like he taught us gun. No, I'm serious. Look this up. Watch. I'll pull up a video.
I believe that there's this story exists.
Yeah, and like he was a part of the Nephilim. So what he did was Azazel with Azazel. I really like Azazel because he taught.
I like the name.
Taught the females how to dress themselves up, like how to put makeup on, how to fix their hair.
He did.
Azazel.
Taught the demon taught women how.
He's not a demon. He's a fallen angel. He's worse than Lucifer. He's worse than Lucifer because the shit that we still have into modern day society, our wars, our beauty products, we're still using that shit in modern day society. Lucifer is the one who. What was the reason why he was cast down from hell? Cast down to hell?
Because he wanted to be as great as the Most High, and pride had him fall.
Exactly.
Well, it depends on which version of the story.
Because he was prideful. He was a prideful man. Azazel.
No, he was anti-authoritarian.
That was just the first.
He's like, God, what makes you boss? Why can't we have our own opinion about things and do our own thing? And God's like, I'll show you why.
It's like, what do you think this is? YouTube?
Yeah. So that was Satan. That was the FAFO, the fucking around and finding out.
Yeah. So his exactly. So his wasn't even as bad as Azazel's. You know what I'm saying? Azazel.
Well, how come we don't hear about this Azazel guy? What did Azazel do?
You do hear about him. You do hear about it. You actually see him more often in society than you do Satan.
I wish.
It's an interesting story because it's definitely extra biblical.
What did Azazel do? What was his crime?
His crime is that he taught humanity how to build weapons and warfare, and how to teach. He was teaching females how to put on makeup and beauty themselves up to find a fair. Yeah,
that's worse than Satan.
Well,
you don't like women in makeup
because God didn't want it. God, it was like a gift of the gods that he didn't like. That's the reason why
some women need makeup. Some men need makeup.
Ooh, Jeff, that's harmful. That was a harmful statement right there.
Wait, are you saying that we should be attracted to ugly people now?
No.
Sean, that sounds more like
I'm not saying that.
Only if they're vegan, Sean.
That's the reason why Azazel was cast down from.
I don't like men in makeup, honestly,
because of his
Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's a no-go.
No. What is that makeup? What are you showing? I like your ceiling, by the way.
Oh, are you showing us your
You look more
foundation?
like
makeup?
Jesus than anybody I've seen so far.
Charles
Yeah,
Manson.
I'm crazy autistic Irish fella from the
Charles-
movie. You know the movie.
The-
What's the movie called? Braveheart.
Right.
oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know. I didn't know there was a crazy autistic guy in there.
They can take our
Well, there's
land,
a-
but they can't take our makeup. That's what he said, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crazy Irish guy in the Braveheart.
Let me look. Let me show you something.
I'll have to confess that I didn't see the movie.
Wow, you haven't seen the movie, man? Holy shit! You're gonna like it when you see it.
All right.
How
So
do
the
you know?
biblical roots in the Hebrew Bible, Azazel is first mentioned in Leviticus as part of the Yom Kippur Day of the ritual. The high priest cast lots of 2 goats, one for the Lord and one for Azazel. The scapegoat.
let's see
the
that.
Jew-
What verse is that? What chapter and
It
verse?
says place.
I don't know
I
what
know all about the scapegoat. Yeah.
it's talking about. I just looked it up on AI, honestly.
I'm on
'cause
Wikipedia. That's where the
biblically-
scapegoat was sent to Azazel.
biblically,
It's a
that was
place
for the devil.
that
not-
eventually
not-
became
not-
to be viewed as a fallen angel because he introduced humans to forbidden knowledge. The Book of Enoch. That's where it's coming from.
Yeah, the Book of
Enoch
Enoch.
is an apocryphal book that's not accepted by Protestants as well, so that adds a little cherry. on
Yeah,
top.
but it's accepted by the
Everybody is
Ethiopian Coptics or whatever. Ethiopians are the
Yeah,
true Christians.
Catholics, the Ethiopian Catholics. Yeah. Uh-huh. It's good that y'all know all of this shit because that's the actual true Bible, the Ethiopian Bible. Because it did where did civilization
Africa.
start? Africa.
The mother continent.
Where did civilization start? Africa.
Africa. We come from East Africans, I think.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if. Yeah.
Here,
Yeah.
look up Proverbs 31:30.
I still believe the fact that we did come from an amoeba. A day over there, like in heaven, could possibly be, 7 days could be 12,000 years in heaven. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we don't know nothing about fucking
right.
nothing about
Even
time.
scientists.
We
don't
know nothing
time.
about the fucking water. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's things that we on this earth that we can't explain, but we know that they're fucking real, right? Yeah.
Okay, this is what the proverb says. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised.
Amen.
I thought that was everybody, like men and women. Like,
Well, it's
everybody that fears the
unique.
Lord.
31 of Proverbs is unique to talk about, a good woman and how she benefits a man and a family, and it outlines what she does and how she is, and that
How she's a nurturer, how she's a caregiver, how she's
Some of them, a lot of women
she
are.
provides, she does all these
Not-
things, and
what she
I
provides
think
to
it's unique that it's in the Bible because there's a lot of people that say the Bible, doesn't care about women, all this and that. But if you understand the scripture, not only are they accepted as prophets here and there, as leaders here and there, they're also accepted as, a benefit to man. So it's an interesting.
Who's getting beat in the background? Sounds like
If
Pulp
you're hearing the
Fiction.
click clacking, it's my youngest is using rollerblades on the concrete.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it is.
That's cool. Yeah.
So how's your kid doing? He's better.
My child.
Not any better
your
than
trouble
you
boy.
are. Better from what? We had this conversation before. He's just being a troll.
Oh, you mean
No,
with?
You're in the
No,
mood
the one
today.
that you had problems with. Sorry.
It's not fun.
I mean, it's going to be a long journey. He's healthy. He's very healthy. He's got lots of energy. It's just a matter of him maturing and me maturing in linear progression.
Fair enough.
No,
But what you were,
it's not.
sorry for overtaking you talking there about what were you talking about? A bad demon thing that is different to Satan.
Azazel. Yeah.
Yeah.
He taught women how to use makeup. Oh, I guess he was gay. Was he a gay demon?
I don't think so. I don't fucking think so.
He was a straight guy.
Yeah. Listen. He's the one who wanted to fuck human woman too. That's another reason why.
Oh, the Nephilim. I thought they all did.
Yeah. But that's But
The giants or the Nephilim.
Wait, so is this God the first before Satan? Because Satan is not even a real thing. I heard it was like invented by the New Testament. I think the Old Testament, Satan is a adversary, or he's not that bad or something.
What? He's the devil.
Old Satan, he was a person of God, and then once he decided to fucking go down to earth and say that he was, that he was God and blah blah blah, that's when God said
it happened in heaven.
Fuck out.
War in heaven.
It's like
He got thrown
like
into
it's
hell.
like saying like this, like I'm the boss of a head of a crime family, right? And a fucking guy comes over there and says he's the boss of a crime family, right? I'm gonna have to hit him down, strike him down, and get rid of him to make a fucking example. That's the reason. That's the best way I can explain it to y'all.
That's a decent
on the fucking show, and anybody under him is not available. That's the case. If people don't
and a third of the angels too went with him.
Right. If you have
a leader revolt,
and an individual wants to overthrow that and have a rebellion, then he gets cast out. All right. He gets cast out. He gets cast down to the earth. Humanity's on the earth, and humanity has a choice. They can follow the law, they can follow the creator, or they can, eat from the tree. And the devil is the one that was tempting them, because once they ate from the tree,
the snake was not the devil.
Once humanity chose not to follow the law or the creator, they fell, and the devil became the prince of the earth. All of this world is basically owned by the fallen.
Are you a Calvinist?
Calvinist means that you don't have a choice.
Predestined. Yeah. So do you think that we have no free will because God already knows what we're going to do?
Yeah, it's like the lottery. You're either in or you're
I believe that man has free will. Otherwise, there'd be no such thing as existence.
But if God knows what we're all going to choose, isn't he all powerful? He knows what we're going to choose.
He may know what is going to happen, but that doesn't mean that we didn't have a choice.
Listen, it's like this. I'll give you I'll make you an offer you can't refuse, right? I'll give you this opportunity, right? You'll be able to go into heaven, and you'll be able to live an eternal life. Or you could take this and get tortured by demons for the rest of your eternal life.
That's that. You could do that one.
No. But isn't God God is contradictory, because all love is only the positive. To me, love is only the positive.
So
now, when you call God love and he sends most of it to hell, according to Christian standards, that ain't love.
Christian tradition.
But let me explain something to you, right? It's love without hate. There's always has to be a positive and a negative energy, right?
It's the same emotion.
Love that has to be real hate. Right. So if you look at the situation, there's real hate between the devil and God. So there's always wars.
It probably started as love.
Spiritual wars going on. So no matter what the situation is, it's like you got to realize the situation, bro. Like without negative, there wouldn't be positive. Without hate, there wouldn't be love. So to know what hate, to know what love is, you got to understand what hate is as well. Right, so you got to know what you
did in heaven.
So basically, what I'm saying is like, you may not think you hate something, but you definitely do, because say you dislike something, right? That's a form of hate. You understand what I'm saying?
There's two things. One, it says that in heaven that man will be able to sing a song that the angels won't even be able to sing, because they know what it is to be fallen and know the contrasting difference between good and evil, whereas angels have never fallen. And even though that they are experiencing it and a part of the kingdom and trying to help humanity, they never actually experienced it themselves. And two, are you saying that when it came to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that God did not explain correctly what was going to happen if they ate from it? Because he said that they would die.
Exactly.
I think that, dying is a major consequence.
They didn't die, though.
That's hate. That's a form of hate. Right or wrong?
Not after you.
They didn't die.
Is that a form of love for God's people?
God's not a very good communicator.
I disagree. That's your interpretation. They're dead.
Well, that's your interpretation.
Yeah,
but they didn't die. If I tell you, look, don't eat that fruit, you're gonna die. you're going to think, oh, it's poison. If I eat it, I'm going to die.
Because you're interpreting it as I'm going to die instantly. I'm going to
Right.
touch
That's
it, eat
how
it, and
most
die.
people would take it. That's like the
Okay.
default interpretation, the way language works. So
Okay.
God was either
But are
playing
they dead?
games or not communicating very well.
Are they dead though?
Not in the sense that somebody that said that heard don't eat the fruit is you're gonna die would take it to be.
Well,
So that's what I'm
if
saying.
they're
We're
dead,
getting
he's
it.
not lying.
We're playing language games at this point.
Not really. If he said thou shalt die and they're dead, it's not a lie. It's just because they didn't
It's
die
a
right away. People are like, oh, he was
technicality.
not accurate.
God didn't communicate it that way. He didn't say He didn't say you currently have immortal life, and if you eat the fruit, you're going to lose that and become mortal and eventually die at some point. He didn't say all of that. Plus, they would have no way of knowing what immortality is unless they knew what mortality was to begin with. So none of it would have had any meaning. Just like obedience and disobedience.
So
Until they don't have any
interpretation.
concept of obedience until you disobey, and you're like, oh, that's what obedience was. So he's giving them all of these words that they have no way to know what it even means because they don't have the contrast to reference it to.
I guess in my interpretation, they're not morons, and they had understanding, and they were literally in communion with their creator. So they had all this time.
Obviously
to
not. If
have
they
many
ate the
conversations.
fruit, that's not communion. Because that's not what he wanted them to
Yo,
do.
R. Darby, you understand what I'm saying, though, right? You comprehend?
Which
Some
part?
of it, kind of.
About the love and hate. Like God has.
I
real
understand
love
your aspect of the
people
contrast and
who he hates
one
is
make the other one
opposition.
more not understanding. Yes, but
Yes.
at the same time, I don't believe in yin yang because there doesn't have to be evil in heaven for heaven to exist.
Yin yang is real, baby. Certified.
But there's hell and
verified.
heaven, so there is still a yin yang.
But
I
you're
mean-
going by the traditional aspect of the church. My belief is scriptural, and when Christ
I believe in
returns the
yang
second
yang.
time, evil is destroyed. There is no more evil. There's no burning place of infinite hell where people are always suffering. It's just destroyed and it's forgotten and it's no more.
Then why not create that to begin
Anybody
with?
who
Like, why
follows this
even?
practice, and anybody who follows their practice, like not believing in the word of the book, will go to hell and be cast out from all eternal life. This is just my assumption. This is just the way I'm assuming because this is what was actually in the Bible. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, but it's how people are interpreting what it means to be saved, how you're saved, and the church. Many churches and faiths have done a great job at bastardizing what that means. So,
Right.
in my opinion, if you're following Christ, if you're trying to keep His commandments, and you're trying to have a relationship with Him, that is salvation.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I mean, and at that point, He is the judge. No church, no man. He is, and whatever happens, happens. I don't like all the fear-mongering bullshit, business-like crap that the churches have created.
yeah.
So you don't believe in an organized church? You just think it should be all voluntary? That'll be cool, actually.
I think that the large majority of all organized religions are Babylon. They're all, the people within them are all trying to do the right thing, perhaps, but the organization aspect, the leadership aspect, something's not right.
They're all crooked. They're all crooked.
But Jesus was quite different to what Paul said, because Paul was into the organizing and the hierarchy. Well, Jesus was like, just give all your money to the poor and be a good dude and all that. Oh, and also,
follow
if
him.
you don't believe in me, you go to hell. And he also said the end war was going to happen in his generation. So I don't know.
What? Make sure that when you're making a claim, you're backing it up without just paraphrasing something.
Jesus said multiple times that the end of the world was going to happen in his generation. So their generation. So the apostles'
Can you
generation.
give me that scripture so that you can say it verbatim?
Just write down in AI, Jesus saying the
No,
end of the world is going to
That's
happen.
not what I'm asking. I'm asking you.
No,
to
I don't
know.
have,
Why
I
don't
don't have
you
the
have it,
verses
Bob?
offhand. I don't have the verses offhand, but I've seen
not?
multiple verses saying Jesus is going, the end of the world is going to happen in his generation or their generation.
Isn't
I'm
there
sorry.
one that says like no man will know the
Second coming
time?
of Christ. You talking about the second coming of Christ? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the second coming of Christ. Yeah, the second. Yeah, that's in the book
My
of
point is,
Revelations or some shit.
what you're saying and what the words are actually saying, when people know those things verbatim, usually they're more definitive in what they're saying. It's not a paraphrase concept of, oh, he was wrong because it said this and it didn't happen.
He does that with everything, though. He throws out these claims and he's like, look it up. I don't remember where it came from. I'm on my phone. I can't do anything. I saw it on YouTube. Trust me, bro.
I'll just
But I'm just okay. I'll look it up. I'll look it up, and then I'll show you.
And Peter or Paul, I'm going to follow Christ. That's simple for me.
You know what?
I like the Book of Job.
Oh, hey, Slack. Action Slacks. Yeah, the Book of Jobs. I like that one too, especially now. Yeah, no, I like Job. Job, the book.
Oh my,
work of literature. Plus, Satan's in it.
Yo, and I think that's one of the reasons why that Jesus gave up his sin, because Job wasn't relinquished of, even though he was an apostle of Jesus, he wasn't relinquished of all sin, and he died. But God cast him into the light because Jesus died for his sins.
It's merciful.
Xander,
Yes.
are you Dreamwalker, dude? You got to be Dreamwalker.
Wandering to and fro and up and down in the earth.
And they also say in the Bible it's good to smoke weed.
What? No.
What's that verse?
No.
See, even RW is, you know.
He's like, nah, don't do that.
Is it every herb of the
First
field?
of all, just give me the verse that you pulled that out of, because I'm still curious. But no.
That's a joke. It was joking. But yeah, I'm about to smoke a joint right now. So
I mean, you could. I was waiting for it to be like, well, let thy leaves be for the healing of the nations. You know, I can definitely see that. You know,
Is that in the Bible? Is that one of them? Is that a
for
verse?
medicinal purposes, but when people are smoking, they're taking tar and toxins into their lungs. You know, if you want to eat it, that's a whole different argument. But anybody that says smoking is good for your body, I'm just not going to. I'm not going to agree
Don't
with.
you smoke?
oh yeah.
I used to
Oh, I
a
thought
lot,
you
but it destroyed my lungs.
Okay. I thought
Oh yes.
Yeah, if you want to take weed, I suggest you eat it.
Also say nicotine is also healthy. Like certain, like, but not this new shit that they fucking have with all these chemicals in it. This ain't the traditional.
Cigarettes always had chemicals. Cigarettes has hundreds of chemicals in it.
No. They just started adding. I'm talking about the pesticides and all that other fucking bullshit they added in it. But no, they're talking about back in the day when like when they were smoking right off the fucking crop, drying it out, and then like it's like they were using it as a healthy product for something.
For what?
Well,
Raw
nicotine is a
tobacco
natural
very different than
pesticide.
making tailored cigarettes. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I mean, how?
In
Why
nature,
do you make
nicotine is a
more
pesticide.
addictive? It already does a good job in itself.
And it's poisonous too.
If you eat it,
Pure liquid
I mean,
nicotine.
people do things for an effect, right? And I think addiction is a fantastic conversation that we don't really talk about much because it kind of gets people in the defense. Like whether it's drugs or like screens. To me, my massive addiction is screens. Like I'm drinking caffeine. There's an addiction. On a screen, there's an addiction. And you know, there's other addictions like alcohol or THC, whatever. They're all in the mix. Lust. You know, dopamine
Is
hits
everything
on
we
lust.
do addictive?
Does lust count as an
No,
addiction?
washing the dishes is not addictive.
What
Nobody wants to do that
is
again.
RW, is it the screens or is it the people? Are there non-social
access.
things that you're addicted to as well?
It's the access to all those things from a screen.
Like the
It's
thrill of
people-
like driving.
That's all one thing.
car. See if you're driving fast in a car, the thrill of that would be considered an addiction as well, like the adrenaline rush, more or less, right?
Right.
Just if you
The
did it all the time.
dopamine that you're getting from
That's
whatever the activities are that you
fun.
get them from.
Yep. The serotonin, the dopamine.
Yeah, I haven't
Yes.
figured that out yet, Dream. I'll let you know, and if I let you know,
You could
I'll
have
let
a
everybody know.
dishes fetish, like a kink, where you get turned on from washing dishes. Every time you did it, you
That
feel
would
great.
be considered
You have to
a
interview a lot of dish pigs.
I don't know. Yeah,
dish pig. Yes,
a lot of feet pics too, huh?
I would not know. That's not one that I have.
No, addictions are usually something that's negative. That's positive in beginning, then it's negative.
Like Jesus. Is Jesus an addiction? I can't get enough Jesus.
I don't. I mean,
It
for
can be,
somebody,
yes.
I don't think. For me, no.
She's way too into that.
I have
Jesus.
to push myself to remember and believe. Like, it's not natural. It's not a natural addiction. Not for me. I see
Well,
other
no,
people.
I
that
think
say it
everything is natural. Even your delusions are natural. Even everything we do is natural.
Well, what I mean by natural is I'm not drawn to it like a drug. I have to actually die to myself to follow Christ. So it's very opposite.
You got to work
Oh.
it. Yeah.
Do you get the Jesus high? That is there like an
No.
endorphin or something?
I mean, when something works out through prayer, it's a fantastic experience. But other times I've prayed and pure hell broke out, and so it's like, oh, that was fun. And I don't understand.
Does
how that
praying
works
make a
live.
difference, or would those things have happened anyway? If
I don't know, because that's how could you know if it would have or wouldn't have after? But
Right.
sometimes when I pray, there's a direct major change, but it's not always in the direction I want it to go, and sometimes it's in a catastrophic other direction. Then there's people that are like, everything happens for a reason, and God's using it to blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, that's cool, but that really sucked. That sucked miserably right there. So like, I don't know.
So do you use prayer? Do you pray daily, or do you use it judiciously and only pray when it's really going to make a difference? Because it's like rolling
I'm
the
meant
dice.
to pray without ceasing, right? To always have connection and communion, and to remember He's there and have Him a part of the conversation. But usually it's more so when I'm stressed and seeking release or whatever. And I'm trying not to be the guy that just prays like he's Santa Claus. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I'm more happy to give thanks for what I have in prayer and just think with Him and try and understand something, especially with parenting. Or like whenever we get to a breaking point where we fuck up and we do the wrong shit. Well, anytime we're like breaking people's hearts or letting people down or whatever, and we realize we've really shit the bed, that's usually when I go and seek communion with Him and try and just ask for help to do better. And in those, and it, a lot of times scenarios will then happen where I'll be able to make it better. So
that all makes sense to me. What you just described, that makes perfect sense.
What's that thing called? It's in The Secret, where if you believe in something, it can happen or something. So it's like a positive delusion.
Or, creative visualization or manifesting.
It's like placebo. It's like placebo, but I don't think placebo
not
always works.
Actually happens though.
So prayer is also a part of manifestation.
But the difference is, are you creating it, or is something above yourself creating it?
Are you telling
I think manifestation is very dangerous because people believe that they are God.
All right, so you guys understand what Baal and Moloch is, right?
That's a demon, Moloch.
Yeah,
well,
Baal,
he was a
Baal,
deity.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he's a deity, right? So
passing through the fire, I believe, sacrificing children.
Children, yes. Do you see what's going on over there? Like, do you see how America, like a lot of our elites, were involved with Baal?
I'm gonna put my headset on. Hold on.
No, what you talking about? That owl statue?
No, that's Moloch, I think, or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hold on a second.
No,
it's pretty
don't
scary.
I ain't scared of it. No, you shouldn't be scared of it. You know what? Listen, he got rid of all. They said every person that follows Baal shall be cast out and thrown into the fucking water because they're pedophiles and they're fucking sick motherfuckers. Anybody who's follows Baal, that's what was said in the Bible. Okay, he hunted down the Jesuits and clipped all the people from like Baal worshippers and sent them in the fucking water.
Who was this? Because the Jesuits didn't exist.
Not Jesuits. The worshippers of Baal.
Prophets of Baal.
Listen, the Jesuits. I thought they were like
Jebediahs.
The people under Jezebel.
Yeah.
Jezebels. I don't know.
Jezebel was like the high priestess of Baal. Like she was.
No, but this is in the Bible though. They said they wanted to clip all the worshippers of Baal. Look,
Right.
Clip like
I'm
circumcised.
thinking of when like it was Elijah or Elijah that went up by himself against all the prophets of Baal, and they created 2 altars, and the Baal worshippers were like making themselves bleed and doing all this crazy demonic stuff to make Baal, destroy this altar, and Elijah's sitting here all by himself, and making fun of him basically. Is like is Baal on the toilet? Like where is he? What's going on?
yeah.
Basically, when it was Yahweh's turn to destroy it, he told him to put water on the altar like 3 times and flood it and everything to make it soggy wet. And then basically a fire blast came out of heaven and burned everything up and even created a crater in the ground. And then after that, they hunted down and killed all the prophets of Baal because it showed that
50 of them.
Showed that one was truth and the other was falsehood.
Yep. See, that's the shit that was like people don't understand that shit. Like God's telling us the fucking right way, and then we're like, yo, the law, man of law is not the man of God. The shit that if you look at the pillars of justice,
you're talking about what is legal versus what is lawful. Man has created legality.
Yeah, man has created legalities. Lawful is getting rid of those fucking pieces of shit. They're pedophiles. You know what the best way?
I don't want to spend too much time on that though. Here,
All right, well,
I hope that wasn't what y'all were talking about the whole time.
no, just casting out Satan.
I like
That's
to
what
keep
we're talking about.
So, but I think what I draw from that story also, when it comes to the one versus the many, is that even today, I see a lot of falsehood and very few people that are walking the righteous path. So that's my interpretation and my worldview. But I see a lot of the world as in the legal system, and very few people in the lawful system.
Yeah, because the master.
Yeah, because society is designed to be legal, not lawful.
Yeah, so
that is correct.
man's law, man of law, any man who is in power, right? You understand? Any man that is in power over, we're supposed to man is supposed to govern his own society, like his family, his crops, his all that shit, right? We're not supposed to govern fucking other countries or other cities. We're supposed to govern our own land. And what's going on is that there's people in power trying to control. And what I was talking about earlier about the oil situation is, like I said, once you become so high power, you want to have control of something like a natural resource that
there's the rub though, Nunzio, because in a good system, in a heavenly system, man can organize themselves in that structure and care for themselves, and everything runs smoothly. In a fallen world, then you have superpowers, and whoever's the strongest. It's the rule of power. So the United States, you don't like what it does. It's immoral, but without it, they're not a superpower. The next person that's going to do those things becomes the superpower. So in a fallen world, this is what
the
it's going to be.
The world's always been fallen. You've never.
It's like always work. Like it's basically like, what's the greater good? Like, what's the greater evil, right? More or less.
I mean, that comes down to opinion, right? Which nation do you think should be the superpower that bullies the rest of the world and dictates what they do?
United States of America.
None at all.
It's going to happen.
If you had to pick one, though.
America.
There you go.
No, I'd say Ireland.
I'd say Ireland's fucking out this race. Ireland's out this race, bro. I guess. Listen, we got more fucking guns. And, I mean, they may have more crazy people over there in fucking Ireland. You see what happened with the IRA.
More than America? I don't think so. I think America has the record of that, too. I don't think you get crazier than America.
I don't know.
Well, no, I'm saying they have
maybe Canada. Maybe.
Oh no, maybe Canada for sure. Yeah, they committed a lot of fucking war crimes back then.
They burnt down our White House.
No, I think which country did the most crimes per capita? I don't know. Is it
Canada?
There must be stats out there.
That's fucking
crimes by whose standard?
Like historically,
by the Geneva Convention, they were fucking.
Bro, Canada was crazy back in the day. Like, especially in World War II, they were fucking.
Yeah, but they're not as bad. Which country do you think, like, population were the meanest? And I bet you the AI would answer it. They'll probably do the maths and they'll calculate.
They'll probably ask you a bunch of questions to know what you like. It needs more than that.
And I don't think it's the Jews. Okay, don't say that. Everybody thinks it's the Jews.
Way too much of a minority. I don't.
What was the question?
I've never understood that particular conspiracy.
Which is the race or population or country that did the most crimes per capita and historically and currently?
I would say the human race.
Humanity. Which country has committed the most crime? Because the countries weren't even always the same from era to era.
Yeah, over all time, like that's a hard question. There's definitely almost every nation on a scale has atrocities.
Are you wanting the answer to be the U.S.?
No.
Or North Korea?
Yeah, because China and Russia both have done some crazy stuff in their.
Well, yeah, but they're not like so for war crimes. They're not considered because they're not a part of the Geneva.
No, just normal crimes.
But not just crimes against humanity, just violence against their own people.
Oh yeah.
Like, what is it, the Uyghurs in China? Like, oh, we're just going to wipe these people out quietly.
And
I mean, the Chinese are romantic.
They can't have, so say if they have like more than one girl or whatever the situation is, they got to get rid of that.
One-child policy.
Yeah.
I mean, they have gotten rid of that. And
there's a conspiracy
theory now that their population numbers are off by like over 1 billion because they're pretending they have that much, but the one-child policy actually crippled them.
They're faking.
Yeah, some people think they have 500 million or something, but I doubt that. I still think they have high population.
Of course, they wouldn't be eating bats and fucking, you know, if they didn't have high. Listen, if we had such a high population like fucking China does, bro, we'd be eating bats too, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not eating that. No, I'm not.
You be eating Z bugs.
No, I might eat. I've eaten Z bugs before, but I'm definitely not eating a bat.
What bugs? What bugs is that? Like
the New Orleans had the bug museum, and you could have. There were all these. It was like a buffet. They had chocolate covered bugs. They had cricket. They had one that was kind of like corn nuts. It was some kind of little snack.
I was thinking the corn nuts.
It was like the shell of the bug.
I ain't eat no damn bugs. I ain't eat none of that shit.
Worms, like grub, maggots, something like that. Some kind of worm.
You eat that shit.
Cricket.
Nah, yo, but they really eat that shit over there. They eat that shit over there.
Oh, dude,
yeah, I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here.
Whatever's moving around,
there's a British show that does that a lot. I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here.
The survivors were eating rats the other day. I don't think that's something I could do. I don't even think I could eat fish if I was starving.
Well, I'm sure that you'd pick a fish up.
Wait. You don't eat fish?
What?
Fish.
No, I don't like fish at all.
What is it? Why not? Why don't you eat the fish?
It's gross.
What's gross about it?
Fish smell. It's just
Nah. See, you're getting horrible fish. A real good fish smell.
No, but if I was on an island,
watermelon, like a good salmon's gonna taste like a nice watermelon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fire.
Ooh, that sounds even more gross. Fish that tastes like
salmon's more like milk and honey, not watermelon. I've never had a watermelon salmon.
Nah, like it just tastes like, you know, like it just tastes like that. Like the texture for me, I don't know how to explain it.
That's not what I thought in my brain. That's a very different.
Yeah.
But different fish are different things. Like a fresh tuna and stuff it's very.
I had raw
very
before.
Light
tuna.
Like
it was raw. I've had the raw tuna before.
Yeah, if it smells gamey, don't eat that shit. That's what I'm trying to. That's basically what I'm saying.
You talking about stinky? It's all stinky. Just
it
walk
doesn't
by
smell
the
stinky
counter.
No, fresh right out the fucking water. It's not gonna stink.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, fresh out the water. It
Well,
does
then
not stink
why does every seafood counter and every sushi restaurant
because they're letting their fish sit for a while. That's why.
all those
Yeah.
places are all serving rotten fish? I don't
If
believe
you're eating sushi in Louisiana, you have to
No,
think,
I've never
where
had
did this
here.
fish come from and how long was it sitting?
Do you know
Sure,
like
you eat
how
shrimp.
much of the
Same
country
shit.
gets their seafood from Louisiana? We have some of the freshest seafood in the nation. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah, but that tuna, did that tuna come from right below you, or that
The
salmon?
tuna was here in
That came all
Seattle,
the way
so
from.
probably was local. It was like a little square of raw tea. It tasted kind of like kiwi fruit. It had the texture of kiwi fruit. It didn't taste like a meat at all.
Well, all I know is that the fish in the sea are not as many as before, and we need to protect it, so we have to eat less fish. Sadly to say,
Protect
we'll
them
have to make
how?
we'll have to make like fake fish in a lab or something.
You with this fake fish over here, bro. I ain't eating anything fake. If it's not natural, I ain't.
Everything in life is fake, man. Everything we do is fake.
That's not
The
a
whole
black
world
gold
is
if
fake.
I've
We
ever
haven't
heard
been
one.
natural.
Everything is fake. Hold on.
I don't want to live natural.
It's like so. Is the DMT fake? Is that fake?
DMT. You mean the DMV?
Is DMX fake?
BMX. is fake.
So is BMX.
Who is
Is,
DMX? You would
is,
fuck
re-
that
is
question.
religion okay? Being wrong or right, is that fake? You know, being wrong is fake. Being right is right. Being wrong is fake.
That's all a social
A lot of
construct.
fake shit happening.
Oh, always, man.
Always
Always.
fake.
There's always fake shit happening.
Space is real. You fake.
Yo. Oh. Yo, listen, and this space is definitely real because it's continuous. It's infinity. It doesn't stop growing.
I think it does. I think there's a limit to it.
No. There's a limit to infinity. There's a limit to. There's no fucking limit to infinity.
You better talk to the scientists because I think they're saying that they're.
Yo, and also if you look at these structures, right, like the pyramids, those also conduct energy. Like there's certain, like you know what I'm saying, like all these things that we're fucking like we have ancient technology that we don't understand about on the fucking planet. We don't know why the pyramids were doing all that shit. Like why they were using those types of fucking electricity instead of like power on the fucking street, right? Like you know how we do now in modern.
Wait, you think the pyramids were for electricity?
Yeah, it says the pyramid power grid, right? So they'll have gold at the top of it, right? They'll have a water bottle, like a beaker at the bottom, and it'll be surrounded by a body of water around, right? So then, I mean, I could just show you the picture if you want me to.
Yeah, I've honestly never heard of this.
I
can
can
look it up.
You can just pull it up. I can just pull it up right here.
Okay. The pyramid power grid. Let's see.
All right, so it's not going to be able to show the whole screen because I have to go like this, right? But all right, so y'all see how it's set up, right? Like, okay, so
It
here,
looks like something.
here's the water, it's all heating up, right? And then under here, there's the diamonds, right?
That's what that is.
Yeah, like minerals and shit like that.
Yeah.
There's the light. Boom.
The Tartarian. Oh, it's from Tartaria.
Is that conspiracy where like the white people brought civilization or something, technology and stuff, science, racist stuff?
All that did way before. I mean, before white people had it.
Tartaria. Look
So
that
Atlantis.
Egypt,
Are you talking
Greece,
about like
Rome,
Atlantis?
Babylon.
Look that
all
shit
had
up.
that stuff.
Tartaria. Look that
All right,
This is
well,
the shit that Helena Blavatsky was on about, and she influenced the Nazis. Those crazy
why
people
are you
made
always bringing her up? Especially
because she's the first to talk about the Tartaria and
She
the
didn't
Aryan
influence
race and all that.
Nazis.
And
much
she influenced
older.
the Nazis.
It's that the
Hitler was a
Caucasian races
disciple
are
of
much
Blavatsky.
older than people are saying.
Well, she started the Tool Society. She influenced the Tool Society, and the Tool Society influenced Hitler.
I guess they've influenced a lot of people.
A
That
lot
you
of
know?
things influence him. He was an
I
artist.
guess they influenced a lot of people. That like obviously,
Nietzsche did too.
Yeah, Nietzsche did as well. So no fucking, blame this situation. Hitler would have been influenced by the fucking devil himself.
Or
Okay.
might have influenced him.
Well, Blavatsky was definitely channeling the devil. So her very Luciferian doctrine coming out of Blavatsky.
Yo,
Yeah, I don't think Tesla would have agreed with this free end. I don't know, man. I don't think there was a huge gold on top and crystals. It just sounds. I need more evidence for this.
Pyramid, you're not
Ask
buying
the
it.
AI.
The pyramid.
Ask the AI.
sound crazy, but if you look at the actual evidence where the energy comes from, so the sun's getting shined down here, right? Boom. All of this is conducting energy right here. It's a fucking ecosystem. How do you not understand this?
Ooh, who's this directed to? Or for their opinions on things? It could be any of us.
Well, the
There-
quote's from Sean. I think he's picking on Sean.
Oh, okay.
I think he may be
the-
picking on all of us because I still have
Yeah, I
yet.
was gonna say that could fit anywhere.
There's no way a person could study all of this ancient technology, right, and learn everything because this shit.
No,
that we
because it doesn't exist. You can't
No,
study something that we don't have.
Dreamwalker, I think that's your cue to come up on stage.
don't
We're
exist.
studying
pyramids
pictures.
don't exist. Pyramids don't exist.
This stuff, the stuff in the pyramid.
This stuff in the pyramid doesn't exist.
Do they have pyramids?
I haven't seen the crystals that big in the pyramids. Like,
Those are
is that
Kybar
gold
crystals,
on
bro.
top?
Yes.
That's a lot of gold. They probably stole it. They probably stole all the crystals and the gold.
It looks
I'm
like
sure
a
that-
drawing of something that they think may have existed in the past, not like an artist rendering of something.
Yeah, it's AI. I think it's
Oh,
But
AI.
also, if you think of resources as you go back in time when humanity wasn't mining it for thousands of years, like it most likely was more abundant.
Yeah.
Wikipedia calls it a belief. It's
I just
classified under
want to show y'all something real quick.
All right.
Okay, look at these artifacts right here. Anything look familiar?
The statue, look, Liberty and the Eiffel Tower.
Anything look familiar? Okay, it says for this.
Maybe the sign of Anu as well as the pentagram within it. Those are familiar.
I'm talking about the it's a repercent exactly. Bro. So you understand what I'm saying? There is negative energy, bro. There is a way to. You understand what I'm saying, bro? Mass produce negative energy.
Like what kind? What's negative energy? Like nuclear energy or spiritual energy?
RW, you contemplate what you understand what I'm saying? You
Oh,
see-
sorry, I was on the sideline. I wasn't listening, dude. What's up?
All right, so basically, like you see over here, pull that up again.
The two white guys. Let's see, who are they? Tesla. He looks mad. The one on
Was
the
it
left.
Alexander Graham Bell or no? J.P. Morgan.
What is he? He's pissed about something.
That's just what rich people look like.
Tesla, J.P. Morgan and no, the one to the right is J.P. Morgan. No, Tesla, and I think the other one is J.P.
Colonel
Morgan.
Sam.
Thomas Edison.
But yeah, this is
More
where
than a tomb, a structural machine. Microwave energy generation.
Dreamwalker. That's the first time I've heard someone reference the ARK arc as an ARC arc for that it was like electricity because it was the housing of the law. It was the seat, the mercy seat. You know, it's the presence of the divine. So there's definitely like an energy aspect to it, but it would be, in my opinion, spiritual energy. So for it to be like a massive battery is a very interesting outlook.
What
Energy.
is spiritual energy?
What happens to your spirit? Look, this is the reason why I'm saying this shit. What happens to your spirit when you die? You shred your body. Your spirit comes out of your body, right? Where would it go?
Some people believe that. Other people believe that the flesh and the spirit are one.
Where after you shred your body, where do you go?
In my opinion, you do not exist.
Nowhere.
You're on.
I think you just dirt.
You go offline.
Okay.
Dirt. Yeah.
So there's many people that believe that the spirit separates from the flesh. I'm not one of those people.
I'm not either.
So
like
you're an
in Raiders
atheist? Do you go to heaven or hell, RW? Or
He said that.
purgatory?
No,
that.
I think that you're on pause until the second coming.
Wait, so Israel is the second coming? Is God coming soon? He better come and get me fully.
I'm coming.
I don't know how to respond to that question.
Look, so here's the definition of what we were talking about, right? So here's the concept: mechanical pressure into electric energy, amplifies sound into power, generates hydrogen as fuel source, transmit energy wirelessly, built. Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
yeah, like, bro, come on now.
you even laughed.
So why can't we fix it up now? And like, why can't the billionaires, Elon Musk, fix it up and make free energy for everybody? Make everybody
have this
It's
diagram?
too much money. It's too much. They made too much money off of the fucking of this already, and this would be free energy. Like no one would need.
No, but if Elon Musk were to make it work, he can make like really cheap energy for everybody. He just, or the government could fix it up or do something.
They're making too much money off of it.
You make plenty. You think how much money you'll make off of like easy energy like this?
Yeah, everybody will become billionaires, and that'd be cool.
Oh, you spelled the name of God wrong.
So, is there? So, all right. So,
I'm worried about
yeah,
you.
my bad.
Hey,
Hopefully that doesn't go
Better.
negative.
Own and repent.
Damn my humanity, Jeff.
yeah, energy.
What if
never
that was
got
subliminal?
its own. Exactly.
There you go, Jeff. I fixed it.
Why?
This is like a Joe Rogan episode, Joe Rogan, he would love this stuff. I mean, the Donald Trump with the alien stuff, it was disappointing. I mean, I heard that one of them was a flare.
Oh my God! I thought I would have so much conspiracy content for at least 2 or 3 days when that got dropped. Nothing. It was like crickets. That's how I know there's nothing in it.
Do the math in this as well.
In what? Oh no, I'm not doing math. Mathematical and structural precision. That's for the AI. Just plug it in. In fact, you could upload that document and just tell the AI to do the math pictured here.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're at that time.
Yeah, this will give you the schematics how to do that shit.
Yeah, looks like it. He says, "Why does the River Jordan part?"
Well, so here's my response. So in Exodus 14, verses 15 and on, it says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel that they go forward. But lift thou up thy rod and stretch out thine hand over the sea and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground to the midst of the sea." So he's Dreamwalker saying that it was the act of the ark that separated the waters, but the scripture says that it's the Lord told Moses to do something, and then the Lord provided that miracle. So I can understand his argument, that if the ark is has physical properties and water is phobic to it, it moves away from it, I can understand the argument. But if you're going by what it is written, then in the instance of the Red Sea, it's not the aspect of they were walking with the ark and the water split around them. It was a command and an act of God.
Why can't it be both? Like, why can't he have used the ark?
I mean, that's fine. He could have, but then it would have to be written. If it was written that way, I would have no argument.
It's written in Hebrew. Do you know what the Hebrew says?
I could go into it, but I'd be very surprised if it was that different.
Yeah, they say
I have it right here. Hang on.
Yeshua. You know what Yeshua is?
What's the verse?
Yeshua, something like that.
That's Exodus 14:15 through 16, and you can continue to go on, but that's
let's say like a bunch of chapters. Okay, Exodus 14. What was the little verse you just read?
That was 15 and 16.
14 verse 15.
And then 14. I mean, Dreamwalker, when you're saying that's what I'm saying, they write what they want people to believe. I mean, my faith is based on sola scriptura, so I'm putting my faith in those words. And if those words are wrong, then I mean, whatever happens to me. I'm okay with that.
Well, just because it mentions the ark doesn't mean the ark wasn't involved. Because it says, tell the Israelites to go forward, and you lift up your rod and hold out your arm over the sea and split it, so that the Israelites may march into the sea on dry ground.
So what was the catalyst that split the water? Based on that scripture?
It doesn't say, hold out your arm over the sea and split it. So it's like Moses is the one splitting it.
Moses was the catalyst that the miracle of the divine went through. It wasn't if it was the ark, I'd be fine with that, but they didn't write that.
But could the ark not have been involved? Like maybe Moses.
I mean, that would be a correlation that's not in the scripture. That's a correlation that
it's an ellipsis. It doesn't say one way or the other, so it leaves it to the imagination.
I think it is more definitive.
It doesn't address it at all. It says it, and it doesn't even say Moses did this. It just says this is what God told him to do. So we're presuming Moses obeyed and lifted up his rod and held out his arm over the sea. So I guess he used both, like the rod in one hand, and split it. That's all it says. And split it is English for some Hebrew word or phrase or concept. So that's all. That's the only information we have.
That's right. And based on those semantics, it was Moses being the catalyst and not the ark.
Right, but we don't know if he didn't use the ark for anything. Split it could mean move the ark.
This isn't. I'm speaking of a specific instance. When he's talking about Jacob going through the water with the ark and those things, that's a different instance. We'd have to go to that scripture and look at it. The point is, it is written is how I work. And Dreamwalker saying, am I becoming a better Christian because of scripture, or was it already written in my heart? The law of the new covenant is written in my heart. My relationship with Christ is a real living thing. But learning and knowing the scripture does better me because I understand the wisdom in the scriptures. If I can relate to what is written, I can have a strong foundation. I don't think it's foolish whatsoever.
Plus, it's interesting. I'm fascinated to find out what if it was.
Well, I'm going to share you the verse that Jesus says the end of the world is going to happen in his generation. Here, in Mark 13:30, Jesus said that this generation will not pass away before Jesus comes back at the end of times. How should I think about this? So this is Mark 13:30. There's also Matthew 24.
Hold on. King James Version of Mark 13:30. 13:30 says, "Verily I say unto you that this generation shall not pass till all these things be done." That's what it says.
But the generation
different. You then have to take the rest of what he's saying in that chapter and understand what these things are.
And then Matthew 24, 15, 21. Matthew 24, 15, 21.
When ye shall therefore see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, and that's a large debate of what that means, then let them which is in Judea flee into the mountains. Let them which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of thy house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck on those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, which means the Sabbath is still a law. For then shall a great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor never shall be. This is speaking of the future. Christ was speaking of after he was gone and to heaven, a time when the abomination of desolation would be standing in the holy place. So in other words, there's a point in time where there's going to be an end of probation. And when that event happens, and you have to understand the abomination of desolation, get the hell out. Get out of the city, go into the wilderness, because the end of time has come and the final plagues are going to play out.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay. So there's other verses, but I forgot. This is from a Christian Bible thing. But anyway, I'll let you go, okay, Jeff? I think you're pissed off enough with all the cray-cray. I'll let you go, okay?
I'm enjoying this. I'm not pissed off at all. This is
Right, well, I'll let you go anyway because I got my brother here, so bye.
Okay.
Nice talking to you guys.
Have a good weekend, Sean.
Yeah, you
Take
too.
care.
Bye.
All right. Anybody? I got to wrap up anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to go and put a little energy into the server and get it rolling, and then I'm going to have to deal with some stuff. So thanks for hosting and a coffee session, Jeff.
Yeah. Thanks for the morning Bible study.
Bro,
We'll have to
I'll
do this more.
Good talking to you, bro.
No problem.
You too, Nunzio. Thank you.
Have a
Take
good one.
care.
Salute.
You as well. All right, that is our morning coffee episode. I'm speaking of coffee, I'm gonna head on to my job at the coffee shop. Yeah, you too, Xander. I'm usually here every day, but I just started a part-time job, and so the streaming schedule is gonna be kind of just whenever I can fit it in. This is it for today. I work all day tomorrow. I work Sunday, so Monday, probably not until next week is the next time I'll be able to stream. So have a good weekend, everybody. Make it a good one, and I'll see you sometime. You as well. You as well, sir. Thank you. All right, everybody. Take care. Have a good weekend.